Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf. In this video, I'll show you how to replace the washer pump on a 2011 Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. You can also use this video as a guide to replacing the washer bottle. The first step is to remove the offside wheel or driver's side wheel. I've already jacked it up and loosened the wheel nuts. I'm just going to take out the rest of the lug nuts now. Just quickly whip them out. I guess I've already broken it loose. Shouldn't take too long. Like I said, I've got it jacked up and put on an axle stand, because the washer pump and washer bottle are hidden behind the cover on the driver's side under the wheel arch here. So once we get the wheel removed, you see some nice shiny brakes. If you haven't seen the video on me fitting these brakes, I'll put a link here so you can find it. But yeah, so there's various push pins and screws holding the wheel arch cover in. So there's one here. Yours may vary depending on the age and model. Some are slightly different and slightly hidden. So we're going to remove the two Torx screws underneath. These are Torx 15s on the bottom here, just to the front of the wheel arch. Just quickly whip them off. It won't take too long. They can be a bit stuck. Again, yours may be a different size depending on if someone's been in it before and changed them. But these are T15s on here. These are the originals. So yeah, just quickly whip them out. And then we'll move on to removing all of the push pins and other trim clips that we are holding them in. So once we get that off, we'll start removing the trim clips. I like to use a tack puller. It's one of my favourite tools. Really handy little tool for getting these little bits off. Gets in there really well and just pops them out. And then we'll pull the wheel arch out. There are a few more I've left in place. I did try and cheat and get it off with just removing a few, but you've got to remove them all really, give you more access and just makes it a bit easier. Not trying to squeeze in a little gap. You can also turn the steering wheel to give you a bit more space as well. Another good tip. Yeah, once we get these last few off, we can remove the wheel arch itself. It just pops out like that. Make sure you don't catch your ABS wire. But yeah, once you get out, it's out. And we can start working on this washer pump. So here's the washer pump. It's held in by a 10mm. At the front here, it's also got a few plastic tabs. Also hold it in, but you just remove this 10mm quickly. Yeah, once you get out, we can start removing the washer pump itself. We do need to quickly whip up the top, which I'll do in just a second. Then we're back at the top. We just need to remove the filler pipe. It pops out relatively easily. And then we'll go back down the bottom and carry on removing the washer bottle itself. So the washer bottle here just wiggles out. It's quite a tricky one to wiggle, but you eventually wiggle out and it just pops out. As you can see, it's got a couple of tabs. I'll show you more of them later. But yeah, once you wiggle it a bit and adjust it a bit, it'll start popping down. And eventually it will come out. Just be careful you don't pull it too hard, because obviously it's still connected to the washer pipes and the cable that powers the motor. So just give it a gentle jiggle and eventually it pops out. Like I said, it is a bit more of a feel than exactly explain how it works. But yeah, once you get out, there's the washer pump that we're going to be changing. I'm going to start off by draining out the water that's in there. Just tip it out. Make it a bit lighter and a bit easier to handle. Yeah, now we're going to start removing the clip that holds on the connector to the wire that powers the pump. So again, this is a simple clip. Just pull up the bottom and pop it off. This can be quite tight, quite hard. Yeah, once you get off, it popped off nice and easily. Now, the rear washer pipe is the one with the join in it, and the front washer pipe is the one without the join in it. Just remember that for when you're putting them back on. I'm taking off the front washer one here, and now I'm going to remove the rear washer one. Just give them a gentle squeeze and twist, and they generally pop off quite easily. They can be a bit stubborn sometimes. You may need to get a bit of soapy water under there. And just remove out the washer pump completely now. Or the washer bottle, should I say. And now we just need to wiggle the pump out. These are held in by a little rubber grommet and a retaining built into the washer bottle. So that was hard to say. But yeah, once you get that out, you see where the washer pumps come out now. And here's the new one going back in. And it just pushes back in place and holds in really nice. You want to make sure you get a nice good tight seal so nothing leaks out. And then we can start rethreading the washer pipes back through. They do like to fall out. Try and thread them through both together and then it stops them from doing that. And now we're going to be reconnecting them. Remember, the one with the little join in it is the rear washer pipe, and the other one goes on there. So the rear washer is the white one on this pump, so it's the one closest to the wheel and closest to the brakes. Now we just need to put the connector back on. This is a bit more tricky than I thought it was going to be. This connector was a bit worn out, and you eventually get it on though. So you just line it up and you just clip it back in place. You'll hear it clicking nicely. Now it's the washer pumping. This is the ideal time to test it now. Make sure everything's pumping alright before you put it all back in. And to get it back in, we just have to wiggle it back in the same way we got it out. Again, there are a few tabs that are alignment tabs, and you just have to wiggle them until you get them in. But it's quite easy to line up. It's a lot easier to see in person than it is on the video. There's not a lot of space. You do have to be careful. Again, watch the wires and all the connectors and that when you're doing this. But eventually you'll wiggle it back in, get it back in the right spot. Keep checking. Don't force it, and just take your time, and it all goes swimmingly. And once you wiggle it around enough, you get it lined up a bit. You can start lining up these plastic tabs. I will show you them in just a moment. And once you get it lined up enough, you'll be able to get the bolt back in, which I'm just about to do here. So just a matter of wiggling it, and there you are. The 10mm bolt will line up. It's a good point to put this back in now. Once you make sure everything's lined up, make sure your pump hasn't come loose. They can fall out sometimes. But yeah, I just quickly whipped it in. Now we'll just quickly whip the 10mm back up. And there we are, that's going up nicely. That's tightened now. These are the two retaining clips. So you've got to get the back of the washer pump through there, and there's another little knob there that hooks into place. And yeah, next we need to put the take the rubber seal off the end of the filler cap, filler pump pipe, should I say, and just pop it back into the washer bottle itself. This makes it easier to reconnect it all. You can do it with the other way, with it still attached to the filler pump, but it's a bit more difficult. This is the easiest way I found to do it. So just pop it back in the top of the washer bottle there, and then all we need to do is pop the filler neck back in, line it up. There we are. And just hook it back in where it lives. Now we can start putting the wheel arch cover back in. So again, it's just a simple matter of hooking it in and lining it up. Again, you may have more clips. You might want to replace the clips as you go. They can break. They're readily available off Amazon and eBay and even Temu. And yeah, just quickly line it up. Make sure you put the ABS cover back in the right place. This bit up here. And we'll start by getting these clips and screws back in. I like to do the screws last. I like to always do this corner first with the push pins. So you just line it up. It's a bit hard to do with cameras in your hand. Yeah, once you get it in, pop it in and pop it down, and that's it. That part's secure. Now we can move on to putting the rest in. Get it lined up. Once you get a few in, it makes it a bit easier. It's easy if you do one on each side, but I didn't decide to do that. I made my life a bit more difficult. Yeah, so once you get this one in, that's all nicely in now. So that's most of the clips back in. There are a few more scattered around, like that one there. Now I'm going to put the screws back in. Again, this is a nice simple process. Just tighten up these T15s. Again, yours may be different. Like I said, if someone's been in there before, you may have Phillips, you may have a random screw. Just check. And now it's time to test the washer pump itself. Make sure it all works. So in a few pumps, you'll see water coming out of my washer jets. There we go, and the water's coming out of the washer jets. And that's how you change the washer pump on a 2011 Citroen C4 Grand Picasso. If you enjoyed this video, why not drop a like? Any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments. I normally drop 2 videos a week, so if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, you should, and then you'll never miss another video. Do you know anyone else who would enjoy watching this video? Then feel free to share it with them. Thanks for watching until the end. Have a sensational day.